Hey, what's up, everybody? I know it's been a while, but you know, life got kind of busy for me. Lots of shit going on. Good stuff, but you know, just is what it is. Didn't have time to make any of these, so I'm just gonna crank out a bunch of them at once and put them all up in one day. I guess I'll start with the tapes here first. This is a band called Setherial. Let me take it out of the case here so there's no goddamn glare. Black metal band from Sweden. It's good stuff. Very good stuff. If you like Emperor, like early Emperor, like Wrath of the Tyrant era, shit like that, very good stuff. And next we got the Show No Mercy from Slayer cassette here. Very bare bones one, actually. I was kind of let down about that, but yeah, Slayer back when they were still good. Yeah, I said it. Oh no, what's gonna happen? You gonna firebomb me? Yeah, sorry, but I prefer Slayer back when they were drenched in reverb and everything that they did after Rain and Blood. I mean, South of Heaven was okay, but everything after that, well, I don't know. It's kind of downhill from there, you know, in my opinion. But enough about that band. They've been promoted enough. Now these are really cool. These next ones I'm going to show you. This is from a band called Necromantia. Black metal from Greece. And as you can see, they're not the real demos from back in the day, but they are a replica. There's nothing on the other side here. But yeah, this is a replica of the Vampiric Rituals demo that was handmade. And it's pretty cool, you know. Looks pretty much just like it did back in the day, I would assume. You know, the only sad part is unfortunately not the whole thing is on here. Half of it's missing, but it's still pretty cool. And you know, same goes with this one here. This is the 1993 demo that Necromantia did here. Look at that cover art. You know, exact replica. Here's the front of the cassette, and here's the back of it, which it was dubbed onto. Kind of funny, but pretty cool, you know. And the thing I like about Necromantia is they were very different than most black metal bands. They were mainly a studio-only band that was led by two bass players. One guy played a regular bass, the other guy played an 8-string bass, and he played the 8-string bass through a distortion pedal, so it sounded like, you know, a really low-ended guitar. And you know, it's kind of what I do in a way with these 8-string guitars now. So in a way, very similar in that regard. And yeah, this is the guy that I got these from. He left his little description thing inside the tape here. It's from Blasphemous Records. You can get that on there. He actually hand makes these tapes, and yeah, it's Blasphemous Records at bandcamp.com. He has other bands from the past that he does replica demos of, which, you know, it's pretty cool. You know, I think that's awesome. You know, that old school DIY spirit that you just don't really see very much nowadays with technology getting better and whatnot. And speaking of old demos here, here's another one that I got recently. This is the Funeral Nation demo. Some death thrash from Illinois. More on the thrash side, but definitely a little bit of a death metal influence in it. Good stuff, you know. If you like a lot of the more insane style thrash, like stuff from Brazil, which, you know, speaking of which, that'll segue into what I'm about to show next. Or, you know, if you're into like the more extreme Canadian thrash bands like Razor or Sacrifice or anything like that, then yeah, Funeral Nation, right up your alley. Alright, next, here's, that'll segue nice into this. This is essential for any fan of satanic themed metal. Sarcofago's first album. This is one of my favorite bands ever. I fucking love these guys. Like, they're one of those bands that I feel like, even though they're mentioned, I don't think they're given enough credit with getting Brazil on the map, whereas Sepultura gets a little too much credit. And these guys, I feel, were a far superior band to Sepultura. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Morbid Visions and Bestial Devastation and Arise, Schizophrenia, Beneath the Remains, but everything after that was just absolutely fucking horrible. And Sarcofago were a little more consistent. I mean, some of their later stuff kind of is just, it's, you know, I don't really know it that well. It's okay, but you can't go wrong with their first 3 albums. Good stuff. Excellent blackened thrash kind of stuff. I mean, you know, you pretty much know what you're gonna get when you see these guys. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Is that gonna focus? Oh, here, let me try the other side. Yeah, I mean, you know, you know what you're gonna get here. You know, you're not gonna get some fucking bullshit. Like, these guys are responsible for jump-starting various movements around the world, be it black metal, be it black and thrash, be it war metal. You know, take your pick. You know, they're a hugely influential band. And now, here's another band that I don't feel gets enough mention. They're a little known death thrash band from I believe Kansas. They're called Possession. These guys are fucking great, man. I've discovered them fairly recently. They are kind of like picture if Deicide and Mercyful Fate joined forces and you have Possession. These guys are fucking great. Like, they got all the riffs of a Florida death metal band and all the, like, you know, low / high layered vocals, but every now and then the vocalist throws in a fucking King Diamond falsetto into the mix, and it's just, it's absolutely awesome. But yeah, the album is called Eternally Haunt. It's absolutely awesome. Possession. Alright, moving on. Here's a 2-4 here. I just discovered this band recently, and it's got ex-members of Vital Remains in it, apparently. They're called Godless Rising, and it's just pure, straightforward death metal, you know, with satanic themes, which is my favorite form of theme for any style of metal. Yeah, Godless Rising's good stuff. If you like early Vital Remains, like Let Us Pray era, it's pretty much most of the members of the band from that time period that are in Godless Rising, so yeah, go out and get it. It's good stuff. Alright, and this band absolutely doesn't need any introduction at all. I'm wearing their fucking shirt, for God's sakes. It's my favorite album by them, Deicide, Legion. I have had this album for so long. I fucking love it, man. This is the best, in my opinion, best Deicide album ever. I'm sure that some of you out there might have other favorites by them or whatever. I know that this album here, Once Upon the Cross, is a major favorite for a lot of them, or, you know, a lot of fans out there. And or, you know, what's the other one? Serpents of the Light. first album, the self-titled one. You know, everyone's got their favorite. I love, like, first 4 Deicide albums, you pretty much can't really go wrong. They're all fucking awesome. But Legion's mine. And I'm kind of pissed that I'm not going to be able to make it to Maryland Death Fest this year, because I hear that they're actually playing this album in its entirety, which I'm just like, God fucking damn it, I'm not going to be able to make it. But whatever, at least I still own it, and I still listen to it at least once a week. And speaking of mandatory, like, no introduction, and you know, I brought these guys up earlier, Mercyful Fate, Melissa. These guys absolutely, I mean, you know, come on. If you're not into this band, then I don't even know what to tell you. I mean, I get that King Diamond's vocals are a little bit of a, you know, they're an acquired taste, but these guys were just phenomenal. Like, the songwriting's excellent, and like a lot of twists and turns, you know, a lot of peaks and valleys in this band, and you know, there's not a bad song on any of their albums either. There really isn't. I mean, even their later stuff, like, even though it was not quite as good as their early 80s work, it's still pretty fucking good considering, you know, what else was coming out in the 90s. Good fucking God. I mean, a lot of the shit I used to listen to in the 90s as a kid, I try listening to now, and it's just, I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. It's absolutely horrible. You know, I can't stand it. You know, thankfully there was some good metal still being created during that time period. Like these guys. This band, I feel, doesn't get talked about enough. And if you love Deicide and Morbid Angel and Chrysian and stuff like that, then this is definitely an acquired recommendation here. Centurion's demo of Purest Fire. I have every Centurion album, but this one is my absolute favorite. I fucking love these guys, man. They're so fucking ferocious. Like, it's that real ferocious style death metal that you know get from like pretty much the first 4 Deicide albums, first like 3 Morbid Angel albums, Vader. You know, if you like that, if you like any of that kind of stuff, like, and like I stated earlier, Chrysian. I mean, these guys aren't quite as fast as Chrysian. I mean, that fucking guy's a maniac on drums. But great stuff, and I feel like they don't get talked about nearly enough, man. I mean, this is fucking excellent here, you know, and you know, speaking of other excellent bands that don't get talked about enough, this is Masochist from Michigan, and it's a collection of all their demos, 7 inches and whatnot, compiled onto a 2-disc set. True US black metal right here. I mean, this shit is absolutely fucking amazing, and it's probably some of the best black metal I've ever heard in my life, honestly. It's fucking great. I don't know how else to say it. And yeah, here, you know, you got some old photos here, you know, fucking Chort right there, rest in peace. A picture of him shooting up, which, you know, it's sad that he succumbed to that, and that's how he died. I can relate. I struggled with that shit for a long time myself. Thankfully, it's been almost 5 years now that I've been away from that whole thing, and I'm alive and well, and I'm a pretty happy guy despite appearances. But yeah, these guys are fucking great, man. They ended up breaking up in like I think it was like 94 or 95, and splintered off into 2 different factions. Chort, who I mentioned, the one that died back in I think 2003 or 2004. He started his own project called Wind of the Black Mountains, which is absolutely awesome as well. pretty much in the same vein as Masochist here, and the rest of the guys went on to form Summon, which is another great like black and thrash hybrid band. I mean, if you like black metal that has no keyboards at all, or at least no keyboards like drowning everything out, they have tracks where there's like a keyboard intro or whatever, like stuff like that. But if you like shit that doesn't have tons of fucking keyboards drowning out the guitars and whatnot, you like the hyper blasting drums, then Masochist is fucking great. And also go out and get Summon and Wind of the Black Mountains too. I mean, I'll probably do another video where I showcase those as well, because they're fucking awesome. But this is just, you know, this is just one video here, folks. You know, I'm trying to cram in what I can here. I mean, you know, I don't want to make this too long. You know, we all got shit to do. But here's another one, another satanic themed band that I love, Vomitor, war metal from Australia. Vomitor's pretty good shit, man. Here's another album of theirs. I kind of just got into them recently, so I don't really know much about them other than the fact that they are a war metal band from Australia, and their recordings are all very lo-fi. They record live and do minor overdubs after the fact, which I love that. Like, I wish more bands would do that, because this style of music over the years has become far too overproduced, and it takes a lot of the energy and the feel out of it. And when bands go back to these old styles of recording, these, you know, it sounds heavier and just more brutal, which I am all for. And alright, got 3 more here to show you, and then I'm done for the time being, and I'll crank out another one right after this. Here's another satanic themed band that I absolutely love. This is Inverted from Sweden. If you can see that, this is their album, The Shadowlands. There's a shot of these guys here, and good stuff, very good stuff. You know, again, in the same vein as, you know, bands like Deicide or Morbid Angel, basically. You know, oh, here's the cassette. If you like those kind of bands, which I do, obviously. I mean, you know, come on. Inverted. I know I said that they're from Sweden. They are. And they don't sound like other Swedish death metal bands like Entombed or At the Gates or anything like that. They sound more like an American death metal band, which, you know, that's a style that I prefer, and it's not because I'm biased or anything. It's just, I don't know, like the HM2 sound to me, just, I mean, you know, as a musician, it gets old after a while. You know, I don't know, man. I prefer the, you know, overly distorted, like higher sounding kind of guitars over that fucking too much mid, too much bass, too much highs all at once. Like, I don't know, like that's just, I'm getting off topic, but, you know, I'm not into that kind of thing. You know, I'd rather hear the more aggressive, like, kind of like, you know, when you speed pick, it sounds like, you know, a bunch of killer bees that are coming after to sting you, you know, like, if that makes any fucking sense at all. I don't know. But here we go. Here's another good one. Blasfemia. Not to be confused with the Blasfemia from Colombia that were considered the first black metal band ever. These guys are from Mexico. Again, very lo-fi sounding death metal. They obviously recorded this live. I mean, you know, just, you know, if you take a listen to it, it's got that death metal demo quality sound to it, which I'm all for. I love that. I mean, that's, you know, that's how my band does it. I don't know, that overproduction shit, I'm so fucking tired of it. I really am. But yeah, this is their second album. I'm not even gonna try pronouncing it because my Spanish is absolutely fucking terrible. You know, but it's It's good stuff. Kind of blends musically. It's kind of like if Deicide and early Cannibal Corpse were merged together. It's very brutal. You know, a lot of like early 90s death metal elements to it, and there's a lot of early 90s brutal death metal elements to it too. So if you're more into bands like Disgorge and, you know, Broken Hope and stuff like that, then you'll probably dig this too. It's good shit. And finally, I probably should have showed this off earlier, but for whatever reason I forgot. This is Necromantia's first album, Crossing the Fiery Path, or yeah. Just wanted to make sure I had that. And you know, good stuff. Necromantia is one of my favorite black metal bands, just because they were so different. You know, they weren't this pretentious, you know, cult or cavalt or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. I can't take it. I really can't. I've had enough of that shit, you know. I like what I like, you know. I'm not one of these guys that's gonna put down others or shit on you for, oh, you know, you like this, you like that, you know. I mean, here's something for you real quick that is sure to piss some people off. Uh-oh, poser alert. He likes Flesh God Apocalypse. Yeah, I do. I'm not usually into bands like this, but Flesh God Apocalypse is good shit. They're good musicians, they're good songwriters, and they put a lot of fucking hard work into their tunes, I can tell. They're not one of these bands that half-ass it and releases shit albums. They're good stuff. I know it's not Satanic themed like the rest of this video, but just to show that I am not afraid of anybody coming after me, yeah. Flesh God Apocalypse, I am a fan. Shocking. And this is the last thing I'll show. It doesn't have anything to do with this video, but in one of the other videos I'm going to talk about them because they're one of my favorite bands ever, and it's what's currently playing in the background, if you can even hear it. This is Scattered Remnants. It's just a collection of everything that they did basically on one set here, and you know, it's good stuff. I fucking love this band, and they're another one I feel doesn't get talked about nearly enough. And also, I'm ashamed to say it, but they're one that I got into. They're a band I got into fairly recently. I mean, it was only like a couple years ago that I discovered them, and you know, somehow they just skipped my radar. I don't know how, because I love all that mid to late 90s brutal death metal, like Deeds of Flesh, Disgorge, you know, Repudiation, all that, you know, Mortal Decay. Like, I don't know how these guys got by me, and ever since I found out about them, man, I fucking love them. They're great, and I paid way more than I would have cared to for this, but it was worth it because for whatever reason they're not available on any streaming service. And yeah, that's why I still buy physical format, because a lot of this shit is not available on streaming services, or it gets taken away immediately, and that's bullshit, you know. Same with the movies, you know. If I want to watch a fucking movie that I love, I don't want to have to search for hours trying to find the movie I want to watch. I know where it is up there, I'll just fucking grab it. Anyway, that's it for this video. It's gone on long enough. This is part one of I don't know how many parts yet, but thanks for watching, and as always, love y'all.